Coach. It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Let's go. Let's do it. Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Right here, right here. Check, 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 check. Clear. Shoot.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Jones. They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, what are we going to do, and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
5. 44, Mike.
Throwing Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Jones operating from the gun. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. Right there, 56. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Go.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. 18 big yards on that one and a Charger first. Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football, they used to call it student body right because you had everyone on that side, including a fullback leading. In the pros, they don't call it that. but it's still the same result.
A run for Nick Chubb. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Down. 60 or 56. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
They'll throw on 2nd down as Stick. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 42.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
48 now.
1st and 10, Stick. He's going to let it go end zone for Allen. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to get him. And that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Jones. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Stick looking to throw on 1st and 10. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go, set, 30 base. 56. Let's go.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Off play action, it's Stick. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Randy Gregory. record his 5th sack of the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On first down, Sanford. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. On second and 11 now. Jones throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, and it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Desmond King picks it, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys, because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Chargers.
$13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Bengals nothing.
Let's go. 18 Gators. 56. Stay with your man.
They run again on first down. Chubb. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
6 man. Check curls, check curls, check curls. Get it.
On 2nd down, it's Stick. He'll get this to Eckler. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
56. I got one.
They'll try again with Chubb. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Hey, Delta. 48.
Stick from the gun. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Got it.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Set up, 50, plant. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Here we go. Snap.
Stick looks to throw. And that is incomplete. Coverage there by the former first-round pick, William Jackson. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Stick. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now Bernard. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Hey, here we go.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Let's go.
Stick back to pass. That's out to Chubb, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from game. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Let's go. 15 line. 15 line.
Jones now on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Kaiser White, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's game. Exit.
On 2nd and 10, it's Stick. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Geno Atkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Here's Stick, 3rd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Geno Atkins in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Here's Ty Long now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Fights him off. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They run, jump, and nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
Hey, Echo. Check 48's the mic. Check 48's the mic. Hustle, fight.
A shotgun throw for Stick. Going deep here for Allen. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Taking it about the 36. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Here we go.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And he's got room. Past the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 36 yards on the play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On 2nd and 9, Jones. And it's caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. So now the Bengals offense will stay out there as they'll decide to go for 2.
Coaching spell. Joker.
They'll let Mixon try and run it in. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 23-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Eckler. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for L.A.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You got nothing there.
Chubb. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go. General West. Get it.
They run it again with Chubb. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Got it.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Third down, they'll throw with stick. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
No. X3. Let's go.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
61, matchbox lights.
Here's a sneak with Jones. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
18 Gator.
1st and 10 at the 48.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field.
Ready?
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Tight end right. Big grip.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
On the ready.
The Charger drive about to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock at it.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And an alley to run. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Kill. 80 weapons. Hey, seam 6. Hit it.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Hey, 6-6,
on 2nd and 9, Jones on the screen, Bernard. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On the draw, here's Bernard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
High 7.
From just shy of midfield, Jones. He completes it to Boyd. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Looking to throw. Jones. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. The Bengals on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. They do get 5 there, but it's not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And again, it's Chubb. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 15. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 49 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Hey, wahoo! Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check 48. Go. Check.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
What we got?
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Not only did they drop it looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Again, this is Chubb. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1.
Yeah, 60 or 56. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
It's a turnover on downs.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.